I don't know. I'll stay away from it though, because I don't want her accusing me of taking your food or elder abuse again.
Is she gone?
I hope so.
Oh, look, let's see.
Yeah, she's gone.
Oh, I don't want her out there listening.
Good. Let her record. I haven't said anything that isn't true. I am not saying anything. I never asked her for nothing. I only let Leo stay because I didn't want to be the bad guy and just rip him from her. You know,
Yeah.
because he loved grandma and grandpa. But in the same token too, Remember, what is it? Last year, the year before, mom got into it with me because I wanted him to go see his mother, and they did the same thing. Keep him. Threatened to kick him to the curb. They don't. I don't want him anymore. If we can't have him completely, we don't want to help him. I mean, that's the thing is they treat him like a tool, like this thing for them to make something of, instead of somebody to love and support. And if he doesn't do everything their way, when they say it, discarded.
That's not right.
And look, he didn't even do anything other than what I told him to, which was keep his door shut and, and she barged her way in there and she tried to take my kid and she threatened she was going to call the cops and shit, right? And since she accused me of elder abuse right here in front of you while you're covering her ears because she was screaming, right? It was just so surreal. Like, I'm here taking care of her. I let it ride with that down there. My only thing was the school, right? I wanted him to stay in the school because she's right in that sense. It's not going to help him to take him out of school and put him somewhere else.
Well, he loves football.
But we don't know what's going to happen with that. But, it's just my point. Me and that boy did nothing wrong.
I haven't seen where you done anything wrong.
But yeah, we're the ones being punished.
But he's such a sweetheart. I mean, he's always giving me hugs and kisses. And
I know, but you know how kids can be though. Yeah, he's probably different when he gets around a group of kids, right? Or a teacher he wants to test. But he also knows too that he loves you. I don't think he ever would, but he also knows that he's got me to deal with if he did.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not going to put up with him doing that. Grandma's done nothing but good things for us. I even disappointed with myself when we argue. I'm not going to stand and let him
But
argue.
everybody's got their own opinions and their own rights,
But not except for me. I have no rights.
I'm not a dictator.
Not you, but to everybody else, and you can't do nothing to help me, right? You can't save me from these people anymore. I mean, they've got me by the balls. No matter what I do, which way I turn, I'm fucked.
Well, maybe things will start changing.
I hope so. I'm just telling everybody the truth in my opinion. Or my version of the truth, my truth, my side of the story. Which I never do because I never think anybody's going to believe me. Because she keeps spinning the narrative. She always jumps out ahead of me. Like, I wouldn't be surprised right now if she's not talking to Pelican and those guys. How mad would I be if I found out Pelican this whole week has been talking to her when I'm the union guy? He's supposed to represent me, not her.
Yeah.
I haven't got one
She
phone.
has nothing to do with
I haven't
it.
got one phone call from him.
You haven't?
No. I told my union president. I told my union rep. I think they're trying to cover it all up again. The second time. Because they did this before last time. And I have proof.
She ain't going to spill her beans.
Well, I have her by the balls too because she came here and threw them under the bus. I got her on recording threatening me and telling me to go to work. And who is she to tell me to go to work or tell me I'm done, right? It just proves my point that I have no say. The union isn't backing me up. That all it takes is just a word from Dave and Terry and I'll be crushed. Or a word from fucking but Monty and Russ and I'm crushed. Or a word from this Dave Turner guy and I'm crushed. Or take either long-term... Yeah, and the only reason they take Dave's side is because, think about it, Chuck is the superintendent, his son is the superintendent, his uncle works in the other... It's a complete clique there.
Yeah.
I have no chance. They all fucking band together to fuck me, except I have one piece of evidence. And if I could just get them to deny that it ever happened, and then present the evidence to prove that they're fucking lying, then all the shit that they said about me should be thrown out the fucking window. Because they've never been able to prove. It's just been their word versus mine, but their word's taken over mine because of their position of power. But now I have proof that they're fucking liars, and they fucking put shit underneath the rug.
Yeah.
And even when I notified the union about the transgressions, nothing was done about it. The only penance I got was I got the job that I originally applied for that they tried to fuck me out of. That's the only penance I got. They owe me. They ruined my whole fucking career. I should have never had to leave the plasters and go to fucking Boeing. I should have been able to keep going on and get my pen. I'm going to lose everything now. My pension, everything, all of it. Everything I worked for. I can't ever go back to work doing this again because if the narrative stands as the truth, right? If their narrative stands as the truth, I'm fucking blackballed forever. Every company I ever go to for the rest of my life will get that same lies about me.
I hope you can get a good lawyer.
Yeah, but they're all like, nobody actually wants to help somebody. They're all just like looking at it like a math equation, how easy it is and how much can I get off of it. It's all business. It's not justice. It's all business. I got an appointment. I called these people last week to try to get an appointment, and I just called them again, and they're like, oh, the earliest one's Friday. I'm like, well, fuck, I set up an appointment for Tuesday, and it's Wednesday, and now you're telling me the newest one's Friday. I'm not even going to deal with these people. I'm just going to keep calling. I was actually in the process of looking for an attorney when Mom showed up, and I'm just like, my luck. The stress, I don't need it. I'm sitting here stressed out about Dick showing up all fucking day. Then just to have my mom show up right when I feel like, okay, I can calm down and I don't have to worry about the stress and the anxiety of them fucking popping up and wondering why I ain't carrying the lawnmower on my back and mowing the lawn with my teeth. You know what I mean? That's the truth of it.
Well, I told her the lawnmower is broke.
Well, come bring me one. No, but she was supposed to bring the carpet cleaner. She don't got time for that, but she had time Monday to come here and fucking just harass me.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
And it was her dog. She's the one who got you the dog. I didn't buy Buddy. I didn't get Buddy. No. That was her. She bought that dog for you for a companion. It was her responsibility, and I was left to clean up the mess and deal with him. You know, like I was attached to him too. She should have come here and dealt with that. Right? Why should I have to, make it hard on both of us? I love Buddy too. Now I have to be the one to deal with it, That's not fair. But I don't know what to do anymore but this right here. This is my only proof. If only I'd been smarter to walk around with this in my fucking hand. I mean, thank God I did it Monday.
At least you got it.
And I stood outside the door trying to listen to what she was saying. Because it's my only proof. Because otherwise it's my word versus her word. This is what I'm doing for the rest of, I guess, my life. The only way I can prove that I got to get myself a body cam. I got to get myself a body cam. Because I'm serious. Like so many times left and right, it's just false accusations and manipulations. Or I slip up and do one little tiny thing wrong and then I admit to it. And then I get the book thrown at me because I was the one who was honest and everybody else lied. I painted a target on myself. It's like the whole deal with Dick, threatening to kick his ass. That's what I did wrong. I should have never threatened to kick his butt. But all the other stuff and everything he did before and then after that wasn't on me. I just don't know what to do. I'm so lost in this world. Every chance I try to make a good choice. Here she comes pretending. I already told her kick rocks. You ain't have nothing to do with my fucking kid no more. Period. Anyways. Especially saying some shit like that.
We get the bed back.
Like she's threatening.
Because that bed belongs to him. That goes with that dresser that's in the other room.
I know, but now I'm really worried. I'm just really worried. But I'm glad that she keeps acting a fool and coming here and harassing me. Because that just leads to it. I've already proven the connection between her and Pelican. I got text messages and stuff showing that him admitting that they're transpiring, they're talking. And I don't want that. I have proof of it. And that they're not looking out for me, they're looking out for the interest. They're looking to try to blackball me. They're looking out for their fucking interest. I never even met my union stewards. And all the years I've been working, 2016 to 2020, 2007 to almost 2011, I've never even met one.
That's not right.
I'm almost 8 years into this shit. Granted, I haven't put 8 years in worth because this last time I came back, I really didn't give my best effort. If I got sick, I went home. If I felt they were doing shit unsafe, I left. I called and said I'm not going to make it. But what am I going to do? Am I going to call my union stewards? They don't even fucking respond to me. They don't even fucking do anything about it. Here these guys fucking accost me, call me drunk, lie, say I was supposed to be there, then lie and say I walked off the fucking job, and my union stewards are nowhere to be found. I tell him I'm waiting for a phone. He promised me he'd be there Wednesday. He never showed up.
He didn't.
No. I should have never even took the job. I mean, that's the truth of it, right? Because I just,
It's always hindsight.
I knew it in the beginning. I told Pelican that. I said, I don't know, after the Monday thing when he called drunk saying, where are you? And I'm like, dude, I didn't even talk to you since Tuesday last week. And you told me the 23rd. That's Thursday, Holmes. Like, and you were like, I'll call you back when I get in town. You weren't even in the state at the time when you talked to me.
Really?
Yeah, he was in Vegas. He said, I'm flying in on Thursday. I'll call you, we'll meet up and do your paperwork and get your orientation and set your gun up and everything. Get you all squared away. Never called me. And just was like, oh, well, he said the 23rd. So Monday, I really didn't think anything of it because that was only the 20th. I figured, oh, he'll probably get a hold of me this week and we'll meet up and then I'll start on Thursday. No, they blew my phone up and falsely accused me and called my fucking union rep and tattled on me. And then they didn't even give me a half an hour. They didn't even give me 20 minutes to call them back before they started running. I mean, it was literally instantly off the phone with me, on the phone with Pelican, off the phone with Pelican. Pelican calls my mommy to tattle on me, to get me in trouble, to drag work into home. So, and I can't escape it. Now I'm here helping you, taking care of you. In order to escape all these people, I just have to leave and abandon you. I'd have to leave you here alone, you know.
It has to be, I guess.
Well, I mean, like I said, Grandma, I love you and I'm here for you and I'll put up with all this bullshit. But whenever you want me gone, right? If you don't want me here, I'm gone. I'll leave. I'm out of here. I'm not going to stick around if I'm not welcome.
Have I done something?
No, I'm just saying, I'm not forcing myself on you here.
No, you're my savior.
I just, it's hard though because you tell me you tell me that stuff and that's what makes me want to stay. But then when they show up and call me an elderly abuser, I'm like, because my voice and my word doesn't mean shit. Nobody will believe me. I could tell Dick. I could tell him. Remember, I showed Dick the money that Cheryl stole, and he just looked at it and was like, "Oh," and never brought anything up of it because it wasn't Donnie. But if it would have been flipped, Cheryl would have handed him in, like proof that I stole money from her. You best believe he'd be calling every one of his cop buddies. He'd be calling judges. I'd be arrested and thrown in jail, right? I threatened to kick his butt, and he threw the fucking book at me, kicked me out of here, sent his cop buddies after me. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, and it's not even his house, but he stole it.
Yeah,
And I get why you don't want, and I'm not, like I said, you can't push it because if you push him, they'll just come and sell the house before you can even get your day in court. They'll sell the house and spend the money. You know what I mean? You don't even want to tell them if you were to do anything or go after him or try to file charges for them taking advantage of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they would just. That's what my fear is.
Well, Cheryl's already threatened to put me in a nursing home. I said, you go to hell. I said, that's my home, not yours.
I know. It's so sad, but I feel so hopeless, so helpless to do anything, to save us, to save. I mean, I can't save myself. I might be a lost cause, but just myself being me, I can't do anything to save you. All I can do is just keep helping you with laundry and cleaning and groceries and all that other stuff. I have no more power outside of that. And at any moment, Dick could fucking lie on me and put another restraining order on me. Kick me out again. Hand me an eviction notice.
And then I do something to him.
Well, I wouldn't want you to. I don't want you to lose your home, right? But my concern is if I walked away, are they going to step up and do it, right?
You know, I went and gave all my paperwork to Terry, and I don't know what she done with it. But I do have the quit claim to this house since 1902.
No, 1992.
1992.
Yeah.
And I do have the paperwork, but I gave it to Terry, so she was supposed to make me a copy of it. And I don't know if she ever did or not, because I was going to give the copy to Dick. I wouldn't give him the original, he'd just tear it up and I'd have nothing. So I wanted her to make a copy of it, so I could give it to Dick to show him that the house was mine, not theirs.
Well, it's just like we talked before. We both know the truth. The house was yours. What happened? What Cheryl did, but on
Did
paper.
you
But
steal
listen,
all the money from the sales of the property, and I didn't give her permission.
she didn't need it. She had her name on it. She just took it and
Yeah, because her name was on my checkbook, and she wrote out a check for $600
To Julie.
out of my checkbook,
and then cleared the rest of the account out.
and then she closed my account and put it on hers and Dick's name.
You still have those
Washington
stubs
Mutual.
too, don't you?
Oh yeah, that's why
Well,
I keep all that.
I thought they put it in Boeing Credit Union after they took it out.
Well, they did.
They took it out of Washington Mutual and put it in.
Washington Mutual closed up. That's when Chase took over.
And then they moved it to.
They moved it over there.
Right, that's how I remember it too. And then it all disappeared.
Yeah.
Except for the 30,000, and now that's all gone too. And all that was spent on the lawnmower. Well, that's what I spent $1,000 on that lawnmower. It's amazing how it still don't work.
Isn't that something? I said, you could have bought a new one for that.
Yeah. But he'd rather just hold out and harass me and wait till make me and you go buy one to take care of his lawn. Because I know it's yours, but legally it's his. Legally he's responsible for it.
Well, that's theft. And don't you go to jail for stealing?
You have to go file a police report. But don't do it now, because I don't want you risking losing the house. Because he's got too many buddies and friends in the courthouse, because that's where he and Linda worked all those years, right? And that's where Jules worked, right? So he's got all those judge buddies and all those cop buddies. You wouldn't stand a chance. You'd have to get out of this district, because as long as you're in the Snohomish County district, Dick has got you. Because he's a Snohomish County inspector, and he's got all the Snohomish County employee friends.
Yeah.
Right? You know, he was always bragging about his buddy Gibson. You know, remember that Gibson guy that was the governor or the mayor of Everett at one point? That was his buddy. The guy who was the corrections officer in the juvie where I was. I actually knew him too. His name was Gibson something. I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Gibson. And Dix was buddies with him. I mean, we don't stand a chance just because of who we are. But a part of it, I mean, even in the court, in front of the judge, when he tried to put the restraining order on me, you told the judge, no, that they stole my home. This is a crime has been committed. And he didn't even refer to any further court. He didn't even give you a second glance. He told you had to take that up with another court. But in reality, he, by law, as a judge, is obligated to if a crime has been committed, to report it.
You'd think so.
You would hope so. But even though it was reported and it was recorded, nothing ever took place. But they were allowed to sit and disparage me, call me a homegrown terrorist and crazy shit. Like I never even had an assault charge on my record. I'd never even been accused of assaulting anybody. The worst I've been accused of was threatening to kick somebody's butt. Over the phone. It wasn't even like a person to person, like I'll beat you up, like it was even an immediate threat. It was on the phone. And it wasn't even like, I'm going to come kick your ass right now. It was, do it again and I'll kick your ass. Right? Threaten me again.
His word against yours. You could have said they never said it.
But they would have still believed him because he's Richard LaChapelle, inspector of the city of Everett.
That doesn't make any difference.
It shouldn't, but I'm Donald LaChapelle, ex-criminal / mental patient. I mean, that's how they would twist it. Just like they did before when he tried to say, hey, he's a homegrown terrorist. What proof do you have that what would lead you to believe that?
That's when you should have sued his ass for slander.
How?
Accusing.
I can't sue anybody for slander. I couldn't sue him for how? With what money?
Yeah.
I'd rather have saved the money to fight him for you to get your house back. So we could fix the roof and we can replace the carpets and the linoleum.
Yeah, the linoleum is really bad.
And paint the walls.
Well, the walls
Right?
aren't that bad, but the floor is.
No, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. All I know is I just have to start
I'm
docking.
dead. I'm come back to haunt them.
Well, you enjoy the afterlife, Grandma. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm going to come back and haunt them.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You ain't going to get a good night's sleep because I'm going to be right there pestering you. All the things that they pulled.
It hurts. It definitely does. And to feel hopeless, and your own family's the one that does it to your kids. You looked out for them, raised them, treated them good, bought them houses, gave them money.
All the things that we done for them.
And then in the end, when you look to them to take care of you because Grandpa wasn't there to take care of it anymore, and it was too much for you to handle, they took full advantage of you and took it all. They cashed in on your retirement.
That whole month I spent in the hospital, that's when it hit the fan. Because they done just what they wanted to do. And I had nothing to say about it because I didn't even know what was going on.
You didn't. That was when you realized you didn't even own anything anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
And Cheryl was behind it.
but Dick let her get away with
Oh,
it.
yeah. Well,
He-
she gave him $30,000.
And she signed the house over to him because it was in both of their names. She signed it fully over to him to get him to keep his mouth shut about them, all the money she stole. While you were still left high and dry, he came out a winner. He came out on top, ahead.
Yeah.
At least that's how I remember it. You know. I just didn't like that I was being taken advantage of. I was being called and beckoned to come work all the time and fix his shit and work on that and clean this for him. And then the second I needed help from him when I asked him for help with the little house, why should I do that for you? Why should I do anything for you?
You know, I don't understand his attitude because Dad and I were never like that.
No, Grandpa was always rushed to go help. He built the whole house for me and Robbie and Alex and Mom. Grandpa, and that pissed them off too. And they got that house too. They took it all from
Oh,
us.
yeah.
They took everything
Stole
from you.
everything they could get
You know,
their hands
it
on.
almost seems like they're doing this to you to punish you for loving a child other than them.
Yeah, exactly, because we adopt terror.
Yeah. And then you took me on when Mom
Yeah.
lost me. You were the saint that loved the kids no matter what. Me, Corey, all the neighbor kids, right?
Yeah. Jealousy. That's all it was. Just plain jealousy.
It's sad. I hate to keep rehashing it, but I'm glad we had this conversation. It gave me an opportunity to document it. To document the whole altercation between Mom, to see what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. That we're just trying to live and everybody's just shitting on us. And we got nowhere to go. I got nowhere to go because I can't leave you because I love you. And all you did for us, all your kids abandoned you. They took everything and they abandoned you. I don't have it in my heart to just leave you high and dry. Right? I just don't have it. And I'll put up with their shit and I'll deal with it.
But we shouldn't have to.
We shouldn't have to, but I pray to God that someday they are meant to pay for what they've done.
They will.
They're held to heel
They will.
for all their transgressions. To think that their positions of power could absolve them of any responsibility for injustice or illegal actions. Well,
If I have anything to do with it, I'll be back to haunt them.
you know, like I said, I just don't want you to worry about it. You can't fight it now because they'll come and take it before you can even get it back.
Yeah.
They'll sell it, they'll chop it, sell it up, and even if they get a judgment, they'll hide it away and give it to their kids.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of.
Right? They'll take it, and just like they did, they'll take it from you and they'll hide it, they'll split it off, they'll send it and give the money to their kids. So even if they go to jail for it, the kids will still get to keep the money and you'll still be out the house. They're clever like that. I know it because that's how they got your house in the first place. Oh, Mom, they're going to take your house. They're going to come take your house. You better give it to me
Yeah.
so I can protect it for
Well,
you
you know what? It was.
and take care of it.
Because I couldn't pay for Dad's hospital bill anymore. I was broke. And they told me, well, take it out of your name, put it in our name, then they can't touch it.
So they were trying to get you to commit an insurance fraud, basically,
Yeah.
too.
That's what it amounted to.
When
Nobody
reality,
ever came to take my
and they
house.
wouldn't have, because mom went and looked into it and found out they will not take your sole residence. They might have come and taken the rental properties, right? It's
Well, there
15.
was an age she sold them all.
Oh yeah, that's true then too. Well, no, the properties were still there. 15 was still there, and 17 was still there. That was right when Cheryl came and evicted me, kicked me out. Instead of and she wouldn't let you. Remember, I had the 50 grand in the bank. She wouldn't let me give you the 50 grand to keep the house. She wanted the whole house, because the 50 grand would have just went in your coffers. Been 50 grand. If she sold the whole house, she got 220 and got it all, and she did get it all.
And she got her house free.
The one next to it, yeah. 17,
that
she
she
got all
sold.
3 of them. She got 17, she got 18, and she got 15.
And her
And
house.
then Dick got this one. Well, no, hers was 17. 17 East Maryland, or no, 18. Hers was 18 East Maryland Avenue. We were 17. And the little house in front was 15.
She gave me $200 for the property, the lot. And they kept
And
the rest of
that
it.
was after you and Grandpa paid for the building package to build the house.
We had to pay the bank off because we made a mortgage loan.
Right.
And we had to pay that off. But her and Rick sold the house, kept the money. She gave me $200 for the property lot.
That should have been a red herring right there.
Well,
I mean, it was hers. You gave it to her.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Trusting, you know.
That's my problem too. Trusting, right? I keep trusting that these people are going to look out for me, and that every chance they get, they step on me. You know?
Sickening. It really is.
And then I'm the loser sitting here, you know. I really couldn't do anything to win or lose, you know. If I'm I don't even know. I don't want to get into it, but it just feels like no matter what I do, I can't live my own life. They've always got something to say about it. And even when I make good moves, it's still in vain. They still find something to bitch about. Still find some reason to tear me down, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that you're going to have to be part of it. I felt so bad when she started yelling at you about me because of work. It's like, what does Grandma have to do with any of it? Why are you I could hear her over the phone screaming at you. Like, why are you yelling at her for something between not even having anything to do with you? You're yelling at Grandma that has nothing to do with either parties.
I was sitting there crying.
I know, I was frustrated too. I was crying inside. I just was so angry I couldn't shed a tear if I wanted to. I just couldn't believe my mother was here and she wouldn't even listen to me. She wouldn't stop screaming at neither one of us long enough for me to explain what was going on, right? And I couldn't even tell her. And then even when the union steward called her and straightened it out and said, hey, no, that's not Donnie's fault. That's on the other guy. She turned around and claimed that he was just trying to cover my butt. Because that's what they do, right? Rather than tell the truth, they're all just playing cover up.
Yep.
So she accused me of the very same thing that they all are doing. Covering everything up. Their transgressions to make Donnie the bad guy. How can Donnie always be the bad guy? How is it every single time? I mean, out of just pure luck or pure, numbers, I should have been right at least once, I couldn't have been wrong every fucking time. I couldn't have been lying every fucking time, right? And I keep saying the same story over and over again that this is what's transpiring. Everybody's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they just don't believe it.
No.
It's so far-fetched. Nobody wants to believe it, but it is still the truth.
It's so hard just to be the only person, or even just the only two of us that realize that that's the case. Nothing we can do, our hands tied. Nobody, because there's no money in it for them. There's no money in it for somebody to help us do the right thing.
But of all the things that we've done for both of those kids, and then to pull this shit, I just don't understand how in the hell they can get away with it. We helped Dick. Dad went and helped him tear that yellow house down after the firemen practiced on it.
Yeah, where he's at now.
Yeah.
That was Jules' old rental house.
Well, I don't know what it was.
It was Jules owned that. When Jules passed away, that's when they got it and started clearing it. Because you know how Jules is about collecting everything, his shops, his sheds.
Quite a few houses.
I had to go clear all those houses out. His house down on Lowell, the sheds and all that stuff.
Then Linda got all that money.
And they didn't even, They wanted me as a laborer, but they didn't even trust me enough to go inside the building. They made me stand outside and hand me stuff
Really?
because they were afraid I was going to steal something. And I hadn't stolen anything since I was like 13 years old. Like I hadn't been in trouble in a long time, you know? I was 18 years old, had a $30,000 truck, had a good job. But yet I'm the one to be concerned about? What the fuck, yo? Like, why are you even calling me? Because I'm cheap labor. Because he never even paid me. He never even paid me. He just used me. But I wanted to be loved, and I wanted to be, I wanted him to be Uncle Dick. And he could see it, and he just used me. And the second I questioned him...
Well, I think Cheryl had a lot to do with it, too.
Oh, and Julie.
She was jealous over my adopting Terry.
Well, even later, though, still with the whole Julie incident, she was really mad and jealous because you sided with me over Julie.
Oh, yeah.
When Julie was here high as hell on fucking opiates, on the pills.
Well, she sat right here. It was her birthday. And she couldn't even keep her goddamn head straight.
And
I looked at Cheryl and I shook my head.
And she was supposed to be the one here taking care of you while you were disabled. But who ended up taking care of you? Me and Rachel.
Yeah.
And then they kicked Rachel out.
In that rocking chair for a month.
Yeah.
After I was home.
Yeah. And then they ended up showing up here while I was at work and kicking Rachel and Leo out of the house. Like a couple months, 3-4 months later. After they gave me eviction notices for the little house that you gave me when I was 18.
Yeah.
But because they got the whole property, they got all that too. And they and in turn ended up taking it back from me. And you gave me that because Cheryl took that big house from me. The one that Grandpa built for us.
The 2-story house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you.
I don't know. I have this video here. I'm recording this whole conversation. I've been recording this whole time. Well, that's really the only way to get the truth.
Yeah.
Right? People are the most honest when they don't realize that they're being recorded. And I'm not saying that because I thought I was being obvious with holding it up in front of your face like that. And I haven't stopped recording since Mom showed up. It wasn't meant to be like,
Well, the truth is the truth.
Well, and this is the only account you have now. If anything happens to you tomorrow and these guys try to spin a narrative, this is your only truth. This is your only way of telling the truth and making sure those kids are held their feet to the fire without running risk of them finding out that you're on to them and coming and taking the house and selling it and leaving you in a nursing home.
Well, she threatened to put me in a nursing home. I said, you just try it.
Well, that's why I've stayed. Because like I said, you're a tough old biddy. You're tough. And you do most of everything for yourself. It's just like the big stuff like vacuuming and shit like that, and moving your bed and changing your bedding that you need help with. But for the most part, you feed yourself, you clean yourself, you do pretty good. I mean, the 90% of the reason I can't have a life or I have to stay here like a guard dog, like a lawn gnome, is because if I leave an opening for them to,
They'd be over here.
Last time when you were in the hospital, Cheryl went in there and went into your fucking safe.
Yeah.
Took all your paperwork, all the everything, and then tried to accuse me of being the one that stole your jewelry. Tried to say, oh, that was Donnie. But it's like, whoa, all the paperwork and all the jewelry, what the hell is Donnie going to do with the paperwork? Why would I have taken the paperwork? It seems peculiar. And how did I get in the safe? She's the only one with the key and the code.
Yeah, she said it had the key and everything.
And I witnessed her and Julie too, walk right in there. And you don't think Cheryl could have walked to the bathroom real quick to pee and Julie didn't reach in there and grab all your jewelry real quick?
No, it was the two of them.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And the only piece of jewelry, only thing I got in inheritance was your wedding ring. I didn't even get Grandpa's because his got stolen in the nursing home, but I got your wedding ring, and they're already trying to get that.